Have you ever wondered about bringing your pet to an acupuncturist? Hi, my name is Liz Garcia. I'm editor-in-chief and publisher of the Mind, Body, Spirit directories, and I absolutely love my dogs. And I have one dog named Dancer who has seizures. And I brought him to my vet, and he fell on his head on a rock one day when we were hiking, and I heard him fall. And I heard him yelp, and I knew he cracked his head in a big way. And when I got to him, he was having a major seizure, and I thought he was going to die. I brought him to the emergency room, and the vet said, he's fine. But ever since then, he's been having seizures. And I told my vet about it, and I'm like, she wants to give him drugs for the rest of his life. And that means, side effects, it means overweight, it means all that it always means when you hear a drug commercial. Side effects and death. No, thank you. So I always had a sense with Dancer that acupuncture might help. So I was able to get into an acupuncturist, vet. She's also a chiropractor. And her specialty is equine therapy. She does chiropractic and acupuncture on horses, but that she does 2 days a week with a friend of mine who's a farrier, but that's another story. So I brought Dancer to the vet who does acupuncture and chiropractic. And she picked him up, and he's not easy to handle, besides me. He doesn't let strangers handle him, but he was completely at ease with her. And she started to do what looked like kind of a chiropractic massage of all of his limbs and his skeleton. And she's looking in his eyes and in his mouth and in his teeth. And she starts asking me questions. And she says, does he stay up a lot at night? I'm like, he's always up at night. Twice a night, he's up. Does he drink a lot of water? I'm like, yes. He gulps down water all day long. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Especially at night, he's gulping more water. So he's always thirsty. And I thought it was good that he knew he had to drink water, so I just assumed, he knows when to drink water. And then she asked, is he panting a lot? And I said, yes, he's always panting at night. And she goes, he has got too much yin. And then she started to just, and I appreciate Chinese medicine. I'm not that familiar with it, but I understand the energy meridians, and I've been to an acupuncturist before, and it just feels awesome to have acupuncture done on you. And she just said, the best thing to start with him is to switch him to a grain-free diet. And I'm like, what's a grain-free diet? How do you find a grain-free diet for animals? And I didn't really know. I'm like, how do you turn meat into, cereal? So she just explained, it's a processing thing. So she said that she's got dogs and pets that have seizures, that once they switch to a grain-free diet, their medication was too much for them. They had to reduce the amount of medication. So, I appreciate quality foods, organic foods, and understanding what's going into our own food. And I'm like, why shouldn't I be as concerned about what's going into my pets? And if I can prevent them from having to go to emergency rooms, which, the last emergency room I went to with my pet cost me $4,000, can be extremely expensive when we can take preventative measures from the get-go to help them out. So she first said, switch him to a grain-free diet. And she told me how, what to look for and how to do it. I'm like, okay, go to your local independent pet store and they'll help you find grain-free food. So I'm like, great. And then she pulls out her little kind of like encyclopedia of remedies for particular conditions when it comes to Chinese and herbal medications. So she pulls out her book and she reads the title. This is for seizures, too much yin, all the things that Dancer has going on within my dog. And she subscribes me a little herbal remedy, and she says, take one pill twice a day, one in the evening, one in the morning, change to a grain-free diet, and call me in a month. I think this is going to help him. And I'm like, whoa, really? That's it? I don't have to come back? She's like, I don't think so. So after, she prescribed this, she did do acupuncture on Dancer and put some needles into his head and neck and a couple on his back. And they're super flexible, and, Dancer did not flinch an inch. And he's only a little 8-pound poodle. So he sat on my lap while, the acupuncture needles were in him, and he was just completely relaxed. And my other dog was in the room as well. She's a little 8-pound cutie as well, and she was just relaxing because there's good mojo in that environment. If you understand energy and the beauty of acupuncture and any type of healing modality, the energy of that is present in the room, and the animals certainly are aware of it. So what was very interesting was I got home that night, and I went to pick up my new bag of dog food that I had switched probably 2 months ago. I switched it not really thinking much about it. I just did. And I pick up the bag, and there in a big red label says grain free. And I'm like, holy moly. I already knew intuitively that something had to change. And I'm realizing that when I set my intentions to love and care for my dogs, life is going to help me find what needs to happen to make Dancer healthy. And I just love, I'm really, start paying attention to that. If you set your intention for something and you have already set it in motion without someone to tell you to do it, you got to start trusting life. And that's kind of the point of this. First, trust life, trust your animal as well, and trust that, get your ego out of the way and let your heart lead you. So the final story about the acupuncturist is really great, and that is typically when I leave my dogs alone for 5 minutes, never mind 4 hours, and I come back to the house, they'll be jumping like, screaming hyenas at the sliding glass door, jumping against the glass, going crazy, the two of them going bananas. And then I let them out, and they come run out, and they jump all over me. Not the best behavior in the world. Now that night, after the acupuncture treatment, I came home after 4 hours. I had gone out to a meeting. And when I got back, this has never happened before. The two dogs were standing at the door looking at me. They weren't jumping. They weren't barking. They weren't acting crazy. I opened up the door. They walked over to me, wagging their tails. They weren't jumping on me. They weren't barking, nothing. And I realized that acupuncture treatment shifted Dancer's energy. And in shifting his energy and putting him in a calm, relaxed, balanced state, it affected Edie, our other dog, because she's playing off of him. So I don't know what will come of this, but I'll keep you posted. But I'm feeling like, wow, if that can change that behavior, it makes sense to have like a regular acupuncture treatment for my animals. Once a month, once every 2 months. If it could just like level them out, because stuff, just throws your energy off. Trauma or shock or whatever, bad behavior can throw off all of our energies. And acupuncture for my dogs seemed to be a great fit. Thanks for visiting Mind, Body, Spirit Directories. And if you'd like to contribute on your area of expertise, feel free to give us a call or check out the link on our website about submitting an article to the directories. Have a great day.